So what is Airsoft? Airsoft is an action simulation sport which entails two teams fighting over an objective. The idea is that the two teams will shoot plastic BB pellets at each other out of their airsoft replica rifles, which look identical to the real life, real steel versions. Airsoft games are usually run by dedicated events teams, usually at places called airsoft sites, usually in combination with paintball fields. These can range from indoor arenas to outside woodlands to open fields. So for your first airsoft game, as long as you've pre-booked with the airsoft site, you will probably be able to rent equipment from the site, which will include a set of goggles and a rifle with a magazine and a set amount of BBs. The amount of BBs that you use on the game will depend on the player, if you're a full auto machine or a single shot marksman, but usually it's enough to last for the whole day. It's usually around 2,000 to 5,000 BBs. In terms of goggles, the site will provide you with a set of goggles, but it may just be a pair of goggles or a full face protection mask. So at the start of each airsoft game, one of the event coordinators or marshals will usually give out a game brief to highlight the objectives of the day or the single game that you'll be playing. Listen to the brief, as if you don't listen, you won't know what you're doing, and you'll end up just walking around asking everyone else what they're doing, or simply not being a team player. At the start of the game, the marshals will usually count down and announce game on. From there, it will be a rush or an advance to the objectives to try and take control of certain areas or take things from one place to another. But as the game progresses, you will end up shooting rifles, shooting BBs at enemy players and taking fire yourself. Once you're hit, all you have to do is shout nice and loud, hit, and raise your arm and walk to your nearest respawn, or wait for a medic or whatever the game scenario allows. A huge part of Airsoft is honesty. It is an honesty-based game. There's no indication to players whether they've been hit or not after the fact, so it is up to you and up to the opposing player to take and call their hits. If you're unsure that you've been hit, or if you don't know where the hits are coming from, just raise your hand and say hit. Also, something to bear in mind is that airsoft guns and airsoft replicas do not have the range or the power of actual firearms. They are essentially toy guns. They don't shoot more than, I would say, 100 meters. If you're shooting at someone and they're not raising their hand and saying hit, it's probably because you're not actually hitting them. Always give them the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, don't go around accusing everybody of not calling their hits. It won't be fun for you, and it won't be fun for them. As long as you're playing as honest and truthfully as you can, you'll have a good time. So another huge part of airsoft is airsoft safety. So although I said that these are essentially toy guns shooting plastic pellets, these are the pinnacle of toy guns. They're not exactly firearms, but they're not exactly toys either. If you were shot in the naked eye with a BB, it isn't going to tickle. It is going to probably cause serious harm and blind you. So listen to the safety briefings that will take place at the start of the day or start of each game, and do not take your eye protection off at any point for any reason during airsoft games, unless you are in the safe zone or a designated area that you're allowed to take off your eye protection. Also, while you're playing airsoft, there's probably going to be hazards out there that you might not be aware of, so always keep an open eye and an open mind for hazards. But also just use your common sense. Do not climb on roofs or jump through windows that aren't safe to do so, because there might be something on the other side that you aren't aware of. But 99% of airsoft safety is just simple common sense. So after saying all this, in airsoft accidents do happen like any sport, and people do get injured, but we can limit that by just keeping as safe as we can. Airsoft is a fantastic outdoor sport. It's great to get outside and move around and do things which you wouldn't normally do in your day-to-day life. You're probably going to meet and talk to players at the field that you're playing with, and you're going to talk about their guns and their equipment. If you're interested in their stuff, they are going to talk to you about their guns and equipment. It is what most Airsoft players like to do. Don't be afraid in telling people that it is your first game day. If it is, the players will be incredibly helpful and point you in the right direction of what you need to be doing. And if you're interested in buying equipment or your own gun, they will give you advice on how to do it and what to look for. Now, if you've come to your first game day and you are, the best person you know at playing Call of Duty or Battlefield, or, the best FPS computer game guy you know, don't expect it to be like that at Airsoft. You are going to get shot at and you are going to get hit. Just remember that it's all good fun, and as long as you're playing honestly, you will have a great time playing with the other players at your field. Now, like in every other sport as well, tempers do tend to flare in Airsoft for various and many reasons, but just remember at the end of the day, these players will, have a chat at the end and, walk away smiling and continue to enjoy the day. Honestly, my only tip for a new player would be to enjoy the experience of Airsoft for your first time. In terms of combat tactics, my only real tip to a beginner would be just to keep your gun up during the game, especially if you know that if contacts around corners, even if you're defending the corner and you lower your gun, they could come around the corner at any time and take you out. The amount of times it saved my skin just simply having my gun up ready to engage a target coming round a corner, or I'm going round a corner, has saved my skin countless times. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoy your first game day. I hope you found this video informative, and remember, just enjoy it. It's a fantastic sport to get into, full of really friendly people. So I'll catch you later, guys, or I'll catch you out there on the field.